Senator Kipchumba Murkomen.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the year was 1642, on 4th of January, when King Charles entered the House of Commons, supported by 400 armed men, in an attempt to seize 5 members who were accused of treason. The Speaker who was presiding over the House of Commons was one Sir William Lenthal. And when Sir Charles, Mr. Speaker, asked Lenthal where the 5 members were, this was his response. Mr. Speaker, he responded, "I have neither eyes to see nor tongue to speak in this place, but as this House is pleased to direct me." And Mr. Speaker, history records that Speaker Lenthal became the first speaker in England to declare his allegiance, Mr. Speaker, to the liberty of Parliament instead of the King. Mr. Speaker, Parliament is at crossroads. It has nothing to do with the money. It has absolutely nothing to do with division of or county allocation of revenue formula. Mr. Speaker, the motion moved by Senator Cherargei is bigger and larger, Mr. Speaker, than basis for allocation of revenue. I must, Mr. Speaker, say on the floor of this House, I am the first person to defend the right of my brother and my friend, Senator Cherargei, to prosecute, Mr. Speaker, his agenda opposite the one I prosecute in this House. He has a right and constitutional right. The same to Senator Susan Kihika. The same to Senator James Orengo. But this morning, Mr. Speaker, that is not what we are facing as a Senate. We are facing an assault on the constitutional order of this republic. Mr. Speaker, the integrity and the independence of Parliament is, Mr. Speaker, on trial. Mr. Speaker, it is your choice this morning whether, Mr. Speaker, you are going to be subservient, Mr. Speaker, to the authorities that want to undermine the powers and, Mr. Speaker, the constitutional authority of this House, or you will be like Speaker William Lenthal, Mr. Speaker, rule, Mr. Speaker, that this integrity of this House must be protected. Let me confess something, Mr. Speaker, which I have always confessed to Senator James Orengo. And he knows and he can go on record. Some of us came to study law and admire politics because of people like Senator James Orengo. And I've told Senator James Orengo over and over again, Mr. Speaker, I have no doubt in my mind that if Senator Orengo is told to choose between a forced process, Mr. Speaker, that puts our friends in danger, and, Mr. Speaker, the question of protecting the integrity of this House, the choice is obvious. And that choice is in this motion. Because, Mr. Speaker, I didn't sleep last night. Myself and Senator Cheruiyot, plus other members of National Assembly, camped outside the house of Senator Langat. Mr. Speaker, media reports are there. Senator Langat his house is being surrounded by over 20 police officers. At 3 in the morning, Senator Malala called me, and I updated immediately on my Twitter. Mr. Speaker, Senator Malala's house, Mr. Speaker, is being surrounded by 4 DCI vehicles and over 20 police officers. Senator Lelekwe, on his way to these chambers of this House, was arrested, Mr. Speaker, on Riverside. I am shocked. I am shocked that Senator George Achilo Ayako, Mr. Speaker, would even contemplate to say he has no facts when those are 3 close senators, one of them deputy minority leader in this House. Can he call, Mr. Speaker, and confirm if these facts are on this, Mr. Speaker, true?
Okay, Senator Achilo Ayako, what's your intervention? There's a point of order.
Now, Mr. Speaker, you have heard my friend Senator Murkomen mention my name. Now, Mr. Speaker,
take your seat, Senator.
Mr. Speaker, the facts of a person's arrest must be in police records, must be in OB. Is it in order for him? Because I came here,
Order.
Mr. Speaker, can I be heard?
Order,
Can I be
senators.
heard?
You may not agree with what he's saying, but give him an opportunity to say what
I did not mean
he's
to
saying.
interrupt Senator Murkomen, but the fact that he mentioned my name, I left my house and came here. And Mr. Speaker, I have no information, I have no OB information, and I know that there could be truth and there could be untruth. Is it in order for Senator Murkomen to blame me for not knowing when I have no facts? I'm a person of facts and facts alone, like Josiah Bonda by
Senator
Mr. Speaker,
Murkomen.
two things. One, I'd like to ask my friend Senator Ochilo Ayako to go look for a mirror behind your seat, Mr. Speaker, at the bathroom, and see himself if he's still that Sonu crusader for liberty, Mr. Speaker, that he spoke about. Number two, Mr. Speaker, we are honorable senators in this house. We don't lie. We can move a motion on basis of lies. We cannot mislead this house. These facts were brought before the Speaker. These facts are known, they are incontrovertible. Mr. Speaker, let us not belittle this debate. Let us contextualize this debate for what it is. It is about an assault on, Mr. Speaker, parliamentary democracy, Mr. Speaker, and Mr. Speaker, about the freedoms of this house. Let me concentrate on, Mr. Speaker, concluding by saying this. This Senate this morning is not being asked to adjourn so that you can assist this side or the other on the question on the basis of allocation of revenue. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I have refused, as a matter of fact, to go or prosecute my position on the question of voting for resources, because my position is not superior to those who are on the other side. It's a question of when you vote, the other side, which has the numbers, can pass. But, Mr. Speaker, to arrest 3 senators, to make it impossible for them to come and make their decision, to subvert the, Mr. Speaker, sovereign right of the people of Kenya under Article 1 of the Constitution, that was donated to Senator Malala, Senator Langat, Senator Lelekwe, to come and exercise on the floor of this house. And for any colleague in this house to support that process, Mr. Speaker, it will be a pity. It will be, Mr. Speaker, the worst day in the Republic of Kenya. I call upon my colleagues, Mr. Speaker, to look at themselves and look at the situation we are going through this morning. Senator Orengo told me on the floor of this house, with Senator Sang and Senator Aaron Cheriot, we were sitting here, said, Mr. Speaker, that revolution hits its own children. That, Mr. Speaker, this house, that, Mr. Speaker, this government was going to be worse to us than, Mr. Speaker, them that were in the opposition then. Mr. Speaker, Senator Orengo now sits in a more privileged position than me. He has, Mr. Speaker, the ear of the president on the government. Mr. Speaker, I want to look at Senator Orengo on the face. Mr. Speaker, it has devoured me, Mr. Orengo. Now it will come for you.
Okay.
To apply, it's the time for Senator Orengo.
Your time
To
is up.
Mr. Speaker, remember, I'm concluding, Mr. Speaker, to remember his words to me, that yes, that revolution devoured me. Yes, it drew me to the backbench. Yes, Mr. Speaker, our rights have been violated.
Okay.
It is your turn, Senator Orengo, sitting in position of power, to say no to the subversion of those rights, Mr. Speaker. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.